Using a calculator to approximate sine, cosine, and tangent values. All right, so we've already done a couple of videos on the trigonomic functions. If you have not watched those videos, or somehow if you kind of skipped forward to this one, I would definitely go back to make sure you understand how I got these notes over here. So we have SOHCAHTOA. This is what we use to help us remember the order. So sine, cosine, tangent. And this is how we find the ratio. So opposite over hypotenuse, adjacent over hypotenuse, opposite over adjacent. And I have these diagrams labeled so you understand what does opposite mean. It means opposite the angle. Hypotenuse is always across from the 90. And then adjacent is the one that connects the angle and the 90 degrees. So that's the side that connects those two. And it depends on which angle you're looking at for which side is opposite and which side is adjacent. Because if I'm looking at the bottom one, then I have opposite on the side, adjacent on the bottom. But if I'm looking at the top, then opposite's on the bottom and adjacent is on the side. So it just depends on which one. So in this case, though, we haven't done this quite yet, where we're actually working forward. So all we're going to do on this one is put this into our calculator. So these are the trigonomic functions, and we're going to use these on the next video to actually move forward and get a. We're going to get the decimal part, and we're going to turn that back into the angle, or we may get the angle part, and we have to turn that into the decimal so that we can get a side length, something along those lines. So this is just the very beginning part of this. We're not really going to do a lot actually with the triangle because they're not giving us the triangle. All they're asking us to do in this case, and I'm going to close this real quick, they want us to grab a calculator and literally go tangent of 53 equals. And if you notice when we scroll down here, it's 1.33. They rounded it off to 100th, but to round to 100th, you always look at the number right past it. This is 5 or bigger, so that's why this becomes a 3. So this is all we're going to do on this one. We're not actually going to play with the trigonomic ratios. This is where they're coming from. This is actually how you'd get the numbers if you had the triangle, but in this case, we're just going to use the calculator. So let's go ahead and get it done. Okay, so let's grab our calculator here. So we have sine of 36 degrees, and that equals, and remember they want us to round it to the nearest hundredth here, so we need to decide, is this closer to 0.58 or 0.59? 7 is bigger than 5, so this is closer to 0.59. So I'm going to go 0.59. All right, next one. So I'm going to clear. Tangent of 60 equals, so again, we're rounding to 100th. 2 is smaller, 4 is smaller, so that's closer to 1.73, which is what we have already, than it is to 1.74. All right, 1.73, and whoops, definitely don't change it. You don't want to change that one because that'll change your calculations, just different calculators here, or different functions on the calculator. All right, so we're going to round it to 100th, which is that 5. So we look at the 2. 2 is 4 smaller, so it's just going to round to 0.05, which is what we already have. So it either rounds down to what you started with, or it's going to round up to the next number, which would be 0.06. But this needs to be 5 or bigger to round up. All right, let's check that, and we're good. Next, let's grab this again. Okay, so we have tangent of 36, and that's going to be 0.73 because I want to round to 100th, but 6 is 5 or bigger, so that means it's closer to 0.73 than it is to 0.72. Clear. So I have cosine of 75 equals, so I get 0.42 because I'm going to round like this, and this 2 is 4 smaller, so it just stays 0.42. All right, and we want the sine of 49 equals 0.75 because again, I'm just rounding to the 5, but that means I look at the 4. 4 is 4 or smaller, so it stays 0.75. Check. All right, one more. 5, 7. Oops, gotta hit cosine first. Oh, this also depends on which calculator you're using. If you're using a calculator on your phone, instead of the Alex calculator, you may have to put in 57 and then hit cosine. So I know that's how it is on my phone. And I know that's how it is on the calculator on my computer here. So it depends on the calculator you're using. This one you have to hit cosine first. Sometimes you have to type the number in and then hit cosine. So just you have to know your calculator on that one. So we get 0.54. Again, we're just rounding here, so this is 4 smaller. And let's see, now we're going to do tangent of 32. Okay, so when we round, that's 4 smaller, so it's going to stay 0.62. And 70 sine, whoops, sine 70. I'm doing it again because I'm so used to that on my, gosh darn it. There we go, sine 70. I'm very used to that on my calculator where I have to type the number in first and then hit sine. So that's one thing that I have to get used to on the Alex calculator here. All right, so we want to round to the numbers I've highlighted. We have to look at the number right past it. 9 is 5 or bigger, so that means we're going to round the 3 up. Oops, help if I put it in the right order here. 0.94. Can't talk here. All right, we're good to go.